Hey Gemini, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for December 10th, 2025. This is for Gemini. Last shuffle coming out for Gemini. Let's see what's going on. So, Gemini, we have present power. We also have the loving man. So, this would be an awareness here where you realize that you have of a lot of pull. You have a lot more influence than you realize. Your present power, especially a person, you influence a person. You need to be very clear about what you want with the person because you have a very powerful influence over them. Okay. This looks like this person is not honest. This is, if you don't trust someone in your space, only time will show you exactly what they're hiding, what they don't want to reveal. Your strength right now, the best thing that you've got going on right now is that you have a lot of hope and you have a lot of faith, and that carries you through anything. I feel that you also have a very good memory. I feel like you're overloaded with memory. You may be the type of person that remembers every little detail, down to, I mean, everything, right? You may be able to, like, you may have photographic memory for some of you. I'm seeing that this would be a person who, Seven of Swords and Knight of Pentacles, they're not honest about what they're working towards. That's the one thing. Like, they're not very honest about what they're working towards. They may be uh, ignoring, like, I'm working towards something, but in reality they're doing everything they can to avoid working on a certain thing. There may be a lot of fear attached to this person. They're not fully balanced. They're not ready to be balanced yet. This doesn't have to be in love, but I am getting Venus placements and South Node placements. This person may be a karmic lesson. This may have been a person you dealt with in the past. Doesn't necessarily, Venus placements don't always mean romantic love. A lot of times it speaks to intimate relationships, which could be best friends, um, uh, partner, not partners, but it could be business partners too. Venus represents all relationships. So all of them, any relation between you and another person, really. How you deal with those relationships, depending on what sign, Venus is, depending on the Venus placements themselves, could represent whether or not you value friendships over romantic relationships, whether you are cold and distant in those connections. It all depends, right? But this would be a person that could be a coworker. This could be a friend. This could be someone that you shared some innermost stuff with, right? There's a lot going on. I feel like the connection here may have to do with like similar parental experience, which could be like maybe your parents were similar. Maybe they were born in the same year. Maybe they, have similar names, or both parents worked in the same field. Some kind of thing going on there. Could be that the financial status of parents are the same. Something here. Your parents could be friends. That much, or their parents could work together. Something like that. They're bringing up parents with this, and so I do see that over time you may see that this person is at peace with where they are, even if they're not. It's like they're stagnant. They're at peace until they're stagnant. I think that's the biggest thing, and they may be traumatized here. And so it's really important for you to be very clear about what you want. And it's really important for you to just start doing it. Don't wait for this person. They could say they're working on something, they won't be. You need to be careful. They're not necessarily deceptive, like, oh, I cannot trust them. They will steal the rug from under my feet. They are more so deceptive, self deceptive here, I would say. They are not willing to realize their truest potential, but you've got to do so. You've got to. I don't see it. It just looks like I don't want to work on something. I'll say I'm working on it though. So don't depend on them to do some level of work. So, like, say this is like rehab, and I'm not trying to say anybody's on anything because I'm not seeing the devil here. Okay. But I do see the star, which tells me that someone needs to heal. It could be rehab. I'm only throwing this out here because of the example that I'm getting. The spirit showing me is like how you could go to both of you, I don't know if you ever saw the show Intervention, where they have the couples sometimes on the show, and they'll say, we want both of you to go to rehab or whatever, and they will do it, but it was contingent upon whether the other person would do it. And then no one goes, no one gets the help that they need, no one gets the help that they deserve. And so spirit is bringing this up to say, regardless of whether this person heals or not, you need to. Okay, regardless of whether they do it, they may say they're doing it, they have every intention on doing it, I see it being a promise, something that they want to do, but do I see them able to do it? It feels like Seven of Swords, I've never been able to do this. Okay, so I don't know how. So you've got to create a balanced life. You want to use the color violet to help you with that. Okay. This loving, yeah, that's all I'm seeing here. I feel like the brunt of all of it is on you, but then they're also showing that you're very successful at healing. You're very successful as long as you continue to remain brave. You can, through you healing or doing well for yourself, you help someone else become well, do well for themselves. Someone has never seen it done. I feel like that's the deal too. Someone's never seen, they have to see someone do it. So it's like if you do it, they'll right behind you. But if you're dependent on them to do their stuff on their side of the street, they're not going to get that done. You know what I mean? It's easier to just be the same, to stay the same. You got to say, I release all fear, guilt, and anger. I'm safe and I am at peace with the process of life. Saying these things to yourself repetitively, right? Our brains take repetition as fact. That's how we learned the alphabet, right? That's how we learned a lot of these things, the alphabet especially, because how you'll know is because it's very difficult to recite the alphabet backwards because we memorized it forwards. Like with numbers, we can count backwards all day because we've made sense of the order of the numbers, right? And it's a universal language, so it's easier. With the American alphabet, especially counting it backwards, and I see them do that for sobriety tests. I'm like, I'm not even on anything, and I'm gonna struggle. You understand? They're gonna take me to jail because I can't do it backwards. I might be able to now, but I just don't see. There was a certain point in my life because I like forced myself to train. I was like, I need to make sense of the order of the letters. So I started studying the letters, studying the numbers attached to like everything I could do to make sense of it. So if you attach the numbers to the letters, it's easier. Um, but numerology is my thing, so that's just it. But either way, this courage aspect tells me that the energy that you got to come with is that you know for a fact that you can get it done, that you want to triumph and be victorious and celebrate and to gain the rewards for all the work that you've done. The angels are asking you to look for a sign in something. So there may be a sign that you're going to be given, that especially if you're asking a question, if you're wondering if you should do something, especially if it's new and you've never done it before. And this could be a really, really big undertaking or something quite small, but they're telling you to ask or look for a sign. And the sign is going to be personal to you. It's not going to be something that everybody looks up in the sky and goes, oh, wow, look at that comet. It will be, I mean, it could be that too, but it would be something that is like an inside story, inside joke, inside something to you. It might be something that only you would have in your head, right? Maybe it's an inside joke that maybe you told a relative that has passed on. No one else knows this joke but you. No one understands this. Like you were called something. Someone's going to step forward and say the buzzword that, that you would choose. So maybe it's not pineapples. Everyone always chooses that. It became a joke. It's become something that is now trended, but it may be a word that you're saying, that's my tap out word, or that's my thing. It's going to be brought to your attention or spoken to you. And through no provocation of anyone, they won't even know why your eyeballs get big when it happens. So the spirit's bringing that up. I'm seeing angel number 0110, and that tells me that you stand out and you're different from other people. That also tells me that if you are connected to certain people, that we both need to work on this, right? We need to work on that. You are exceptional, so they're not going to be able to do what you do. Don't attach any energy on the person not doing what they're supposed to do off rip, because they really don't have have what you've got going on. in order to make it happen. I see things coming true for you, happening for you, a balanced life coming in for you, money coming in for you. I don't know, lots of money coming into you or for you. A lot of you've got to work really, really hard on, as you're healing, forgiving your parents. That keeps coming up. So I don't know if there's some kind of thing with your parents. And if that's the case, Spirit's saying that you may have had an issue with them for so long that you are unable to see your potential. Therefore, you need to be saying consistently, right? Because that's what I was getting to, but then I got, you know how I do, I get sidetracked. I release all fear, guilt, and anger. I'm safe and I am at peace with the process of life. Now, how our brains work, like I said about the repetition in the alphabet, uh, repetition, your brain takes things down as fact. The more you say something, especially with intonation and meaning, your brain says that's a fact, right? That's true. So whatever it is that you're doing, your brain will automatically make something else a lot more attractive. All of a sudden, you may feel compelled to just have more compassion towards your parents, which also that also impacts your romantic connections. The compassion that you may be able to have for them will help you to have more compassion for your partner. It will help you to have more compassion for your future partner, more compassion for yourself, because of the fact that your brain's taking this down as fact. Yeah, I do release it all. Yeah, what was I thinking about? Then you're seeing your potential. Your life starts to feel more balanced. Dark thoughts with temperance and eight of cups. This tells me that for many of you, the dark thoughts are centered around a lot of sadness and grief. That you had to walk away from something that you may have felt was your purpose. Some of you may be feeling like you have to walk away from something that was purposeful. It could even be a relationship. It could be a business. It could be something in our lives that we say, this is me. And I feel this is a thought process of saying, I might have to walk away. It's starting to get too heavy. If they don't get their act together, if this doesn't happen, if this person doesn't step up like they said they would, they're not going to be able to. They're not like you. Something about you sets you apart from another person. You're going to have to be the bigger person in things, which really I don't like telling people, but that's what you got to do. South Node placements and Venus placements. Check those out, because what we do, even though it may be in our charts, what's in our chart is what we attract. The law of attraction and the law of resonance. So if you have certain placements in your chart, especially Venus placements, right? The way that we love, the way that we receive love, we attract people who either give us the opposite or just exactly what we need. So you want to look into where that is. If you feel like you're imbalanced in those areas and you kind of can, then that's like okay, I can see why I attracted this person, or I can see why I'm in the situation I'm in, why I have these type of friends. South Node would even say, I see why I keep attracting the same types of things in different places. Like I may get a job and I have the same issues with the same type of people everywhere I go, or I meet the same spirit in different bodies, because our South Node speaks of our karmic lessons that we're meant to learn. So you want to look into where that is for you. Why do I keep getting thrown into the same kind of predicaments? Why do I always find myself in the same spot? That's something we all have to face, right? Because a lot of us almost, I don't know how many, but it's so common that you're not the only one type thing, if that's your deal. I know me, I do the same. Trust me, when I was in my 20s, I attracted the same kind of friends and the same different bodies, different gendered, all that. Same person. They said, be like, why do I have these type of friends? They don't understand me at all. Like, what's going? Then I realized you have to learn how to accept yourself. How about that? I was like, gotcha. All right, I understand it better now. Thanks, Spirit. I don't want to go through this anymore. Um, but either way, you could be dealing with an Aquarius, a Sagittarius heavily. We've got Taurus also, so you could be a Taurus Gemini cusp. If you're not dealing with those signs, which you don't have to be, those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.